Wednesday. I am Intelexx and I'm here with another Q&A Wednesday for this month. Shout out to each and every single one of you who have been following and have been keeping up with the series that we have going on. If you missed our last series, What's Your Why, parts 1 through 4, definitely go back and check it out. It's on all social media platforms. Shout out to you if you are tuning in from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, our app. How y'all doing? Thank you for tuning in for another month. All right, so we're going to jump right on in. A couple of announcements. Showcase Your Talent Show just went down. Did y'all tune in? Did y'all see who the winner was? All right, now we got another one coming up the last Sunday of this month. So if you have not, registration is open. All right, sign up sooner than later because those spots do fill up quick. But if you want to stay up to date on all things Intelexx, go to our website, Intelexx.com, subscribe to our email list, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and download our app so you can stay in and know, on and know, and see things that we don't show you on social media. All right, so we're going to jump right into it. Y'all ready for this new series that we got going on? All right, so here we go. Our series is called How Can We Heal Ourselves? And this is part 1. Now, I know a lot of times we focus so much on being successful, wanting all of these things, but we are in a broken state. And we are not in a place to receive what it is that we actually want. So we are here at Intelexx. We want to get to the root of the issue because we can't elevate if we are still broken. And if we still have some healing that we need to do, we can't receive what's meant for us. All right. And so we are going to jump into that today. All right. And we want you to put in the comments, to share your thoughts about what are some ways that you have healed yourself over the years, or what has helped you to be in a better, healthy state. And that can be physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, any aspect, right? We are covering a broad range of topics, but we want you to know that in order to get to certain levels, you have to heal within yourself first. Because if you get what you asked for when you're not ready for it, you're going to mess it up. All right, so we're going to get to the root of some things today. All right, y'all ready? And of course, we can't cover this all in one episode. So make sure to come back for the rest of this series so that we can dig deep into it. All right. Are we going to jump right in? All right. So we're going to talk about how can we heal ourselves? So let's check this out.
Life is not easy at all. There's going to be challenges. You're going to get beat down. That's the way life is.
You sort of put a mask on your face and you go home and lay in your bed when no one's looking at you, when you don't have to impress anybody, and you're yourself. And fear comes in. Maybe you don't know for sure what's going to be happening in the future, and it scares you. Just that fear paralyzes you. And I just want to ask you today, do you think you have hope?
At some point, everything's going to go south on you. Everything's going to go south, and you're going to say, this is it. This is how I end. Now, you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem, and you solve the next one.
And it doesn't matter how you get knocked down in life, because that's going to happen. All that matters is that you got to get up.
You have to get up.
Whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass. Sometimes you have to just back up and go within yourself and pray and meditate and recharge your batteries. Go away, clear your head, and then come back and look at it from a different vantage point. Don't operate while you are under the spell or the effect of what's going on. Don't allow your emotions to control you. We are emotional, but you want to begin to discipline your emotion. If you don't discipline and contain your emotions, they will use you. You don't have to force yourself or motivate yourself to think negatively, to be depressed, to beat yourself up over the head, to feel loaded with guilt. You don't have to make any effort to do that. Your mind is on automatic. It will do that by itself. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back.
You ask, bro, what do you want? Man, I want to be diamond. Tell me something I don't know. Everybody wants it. But the raw reality of it is everybody don't get it. And the crazy thing is, if you want it, you can get it. It's not like somebody is stopping you, holding the gun to your head and telling you you can't get it. It's a matter of will. It's a matter of hard work. It's a matter of sacrifice. It's a matter of dedication. It's a matter of commitment.
The difference is not the genetic code, the potential. It's a guy that's willing to get knocked down, finally tested on fortune, stand back up. The perseverance to see it through. The never say die attitude.
We know the battle ahead. We know the journey ahead is going to get tough. We know we're going to face obstacles. We know it's going to be some discomfort. We know they're going to try to break us. We know they're coming for us. We know that's going to happen already. So let's make up in our minds before the battle that we're going to be victorious.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it. At the end of pain is success. You're not going to die because you're feeling a little pain.
You tell yourself, I won't give up. When that depression hits you, come out of nowhere, you tell yourself, I won't give up.
There's no guarantee that because somebody is now down on their luck, they can never come back. Who can guarantee that you can't make it? That you can't have your dream? Who can guarantee that you can't do what you want to do? No one can do that. No one can predict that. You don't know what the possibilities are for your life.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no. After you earn the right to be where you want to be, to do what you want to do.
All we need to do is we look at our dreams as we get ready to hit the floor. I'm blessed and highly favored.
I don't care if you sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostril, boo, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up.
Okay, what did y'all think about that? Let me know. It was short and sweet though, straight to the point, right? So everything starts in the mind. Perception is reality, and a lot of times we might think that we are good, we know what's going on, we, all of these things, right? And we could be totally wrong based on how we view it here, okay? The battle is in the mind, and life will knock you out if you let it. Life will life, all right? But it's up to you to determine how much fight you have in you. And a lot of times going through certain situations and circumstances will let you know exactly how much fight you got. And so sometimes when life knocks us down, when we go through those different situations, when we have expectations for getting something and it doesn't work out, or when we have certain losses, when we have to go through that grieving process and we never really get over it, it's an open wound, right? And so if you look at the body on the outside, if somebody actually has something that they're going through, as far as if they get cut, if they have a open tear, incision, they bleeding out, if they don't get treated, it's going to leave a mark. It could get infected, and it could affect other, apart from just what you see on the outside. It could affect their health overall, depending on how bad it gets. Because a lot of times, if it's untreated and it stays untreated, it will be detrimental to where they might have to get something cut. They might have to go through surgery just to remove that portion. because, you know, it's not just a surface thing. Everything is connected at the end of the day. And so a lot of times we have to get our mind right. We have to relearn the proper way to think so that we can heal from the inside. So all of it comes down to a matter of just getting up and get going, get started, go within yourself. And a lot of times us as people run from who we are because we don't want to deal with who we are, which is unfortunate, because the more you know yourself, the greater you will be when it comes to walking in purpose and helping other people get to theirs. But if you're not spending time with yourself, you're claiming to be busy or claiming to be productive and you're just busy, claiming to have all these things going on when you're just stretching yourself thin in so many different areas, and you're not really elevating to the place that you need to be elevating to because you're not doing enough work. Now, let me just say this. People can tell how studied you are, how much you know, how much you're actually applying what it is that you're telling them to do, and not just do as I say, not as I do. People can tell, right? And so if you're always shouting, okay, this is what we need to do, and this is this, and you know, we need to be on time, and we need to work out, and we need to have this amount of money stacked up, but you're not doing any of those things, people can tell. All right, because a lot of times the ones that are actually doing things don't have a lot to say. You know, they're always moving, they're always acting, they're always being, all of those things. And when they get a chance to sit down and really talk to people about their process, is because of people seeing their process in full force, and they're like, whoa, we need to figure out how you did this. And then that's when they start talking about it, right? And so, you know, all of us have to go through that portion of really isolating ourselves so that we can elevate. So I don't know if you know the process of a seed turning into a plant. It goes into the ground, right? The soil has to be right. The environment has to be right for it to grow. Because if you try to create a plant in bad soil, it's not going to produce. It's not going to grow, right? And so it has to be isolated. It has to be by itself. And it has to fight against the soil and push through, not only to go upward, but to go downward, so that those roots grow, and whatever you see that's happening on below the soil is what sprouts up eventually. But all that isolation, all that hard work, all the behind the scenes stuff happens under the ground. You don't see all of that. You only see the product of what happens once that time has come for it to sprout up. And so let's look at that within our own lives. How much time have you done by yourself to isolate yourself and really go through the process, learn what it means? Like, this is not working. This has happened. I lost this. I gained this. People have isolated themselves from me. I lost this job. Now I have to go into entrepreneurship, but I'm not getting the connections that I need, or whatever the case may be. You have to go through that alone. And it's okay, because a lot of times you're not going to get to a certain level unless you go through that alone time. Okay, so don't knock the isolation time, because in those moments is really when you find out who you are, your character, your integrity, and you really get to see what you are producing, so that when that harvest comes, is exactly what you done sown into, is exactly what you done put all your effort, all your time, and things like that. A lot of people say with different celebrities or known figures, oh, you know, they are overnight successes, when it took them 10, 15 years to get to that point. But within those 10 years that you didn't see was them in isolation, putting the work in. All right, so don't knock that. All right, clear your head, right? If you want it, you can get it. It all starts in the mind. You have to have that mentality that is for you, and whatever you attract will come to you. All right, the journey ahead is going to be tough. No one ever said it's going to be easy. And for those who say it's easy, are not keeping it real with you. All right. This journey is hard. It is hard, especially when you put your all into something and you don't see the results that you want. All right. That can hurt you. And that's something that you have to heal from too. Right. I've experienced that myself, where I put my all into something and I want it to be done a certain way. I want the outcome to be a certain way, and it's not. And so I get disappointed, and then I'm hurt by that. But I have to learn that that's a part of life. Life will never go the way that you plan it 100% of the time. And so how do you respond when you don't get what you want? How do you respond when you don't hear what you want to hear? When someone tells you no multiple times over and over and over again. I hear so many different stories about how people have heard no for years and they still kept going. That is a level of hurt that people have to heal from. Rejection hurts. Isolation hurts. Abandonment hurts. Connections that you thought would never break and they break hurts. What do you do about that? All right. How can we heal from that? That's what we're here for. That's what we're talking about. Are we getting down to the nitty gritty today, because we have to learn to get through those hurts and not let them crush us to the point where we stop fighting. Because when we stop fighting, that is when we stop living. All right. Because anything that is of value has a difficulty factor attached to it. So if you are unwilling to fight for what you feel that you deserve, for what you think has a lot of worth and a lot of value, then either you've been put to sleep too long, or you don't know how to fight because you never had to do it, or you never did it. Or when you did do it, you got so much backlash that it stopped you from doing it. Don't let anything or anyone stop you from fighting for what you believe that you deserve. And you deserve everything, even beyond what you can think or imagine. So don't limit yourself in your mind, and don't let others limit you based on their limitations. All right. So make up in your mind what you're going to do. See the process and go through it. Just do it. If you are still here, that means that your purpose is beyond you. That means you are not done yet. So don't take that for granted. Don't live in the past. If you've lost a loved one, if you've lost things, if you've lost relationships, if you had to grieve certain situations, if things didn't work out the way they didn't, the way that you wanted them to work out, and it didn't work out that way, that is okay. Keep going. All right. Because when we stop and just start ruminating or just keep thinking over and over in our minds about what happened, why it didn't happen this way, why we lost this, why we're not connected with this person anymore, why this didn't work out, why that didn't work out, we are operating in the past. And we can't move forward if we're always in the past. That's a form of grief, right? That's a form of trauma that you're holding on to. That's a trauma bond. All right. Just because it's not connected to a specific person doesn't make it less of a bond, because you've been traumatized by those situations, those circumstances, and you're holding on to it. Let it go. Because if you don't let it go, you can't heal. And you have to confront it first. You have to acknowledge that this is what hurt you. You have to acknowledge it before you can move on and do anything. All right. There's an atonement process that happens. And until you first acknowledge it, you can't move forward with it. You have to acknowledge it first. So figure out what hurt you. Figure out all of the things that have hurt you over the years, and figure out the next step as far as, okay, this hurt me. What can I do next? How can I do better? How can I prevent this from crushing me next time, to where it just stops you in your tracks and you're just like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not bringing it up anymore. And you just completely stop. Life keeps going, right? The sun keeps shining. The moon comes out at night. Stars come out. Everybody else does their job regardless of what happens, right? The earth, the animals, everybody does their jobs. Why do we stop as humans? That's not a part of our nature, right? We're fighting against ourselves, but keep fighting, right? Don't let things or people stop you from your purpose and stop you from your journey, because when you get knocked down by life one time and you just stay down, you done gave up. If you ever watch boxing and somebody gets knocked out, they give them 10 seconds, right? And within those 10 seconds, they have to get back up or the fight is over. How long have you been down to where you're not willing to get back up because you got knocked down one time, right? All right. I'm gonna stop it there. You know, I'm a little riled up today. But seriously, we have to really go deeper within ourselves, myself included. All right, whenever I talk to y'all, I'm not just talking to y'all. This is a part of my journey as well. And so we are all on this journey, but we all have to be willing to fight, right? There have been plenty of times where I have gone through some things that will break people. And I needed to take some time away and really regroup and really get my mental back where it needed to be in order to keep going. But if you don't take that time, if I didn't take that time and I just let life me, it would have been done. It would have been a wrap, right? But we're not going to do that because I know my purpose is for others. My purpose is not just for me. So I can't just think about myself when it comes to this process because there's too many people that's on my path that I'm meant to help. And if I stop, then I'm hurting them too. So that's something that we got to think about. All right, so let's get into this next piece about healing and how to walk in that. All right, so let's check this out.
Chill. Today we choose in peace. Today we choose peace. You know, every human being, I believe, is striving for a level of peace, you know, comfort, you know, to feel at home within our own skin and spirit. And I'm sure we all know that the choices we make, they shape our existence. Today I want to talk about how we learn to choose peace and healing over toxicity and chaos. And it sounds beautiful and sounds simple, but the thing is, sometimes the toxicity and the chaos feels good in the moment or is more appealing, isn't it? It's why we make poor decisions at times, because we're human and we fall victim to our temptations, and then we fall into our negative cycles, and sometimes it's hard to get out, but don't worry. We can still cultivate that peace. And today, to be honest, we're not here to villainize or vilify anything. Grace. This is a loving community. If this is your first time here, my name is Hines, and today in hindsight, you are at the #1 chill spot on the internet. Today we're going to bring balance to our own yin and yang. You understand? You know, this is a sound journey. You know, often our decisions, I believe, they have a delay effect. I know they do. And the delay of our choices, it can be positive or it can be negative. But usually in the moment, sometimes we feel it in the reverse, right? For example, you know, let's say you get drunk and at the end of the day, you know, it can be quite fun. You know, we're on a high, we're expressing ourselves in ways with no judgment or thought, we're letting loose, and it might be completely worth it for you. Again, we're not here to vilify anything. Maybe the delay effect is worth it too. Maybe you have a few days off to decompress, you know, while you're hungover. Or maybe you're on vacation and, to be honest, just the occasion is just worth it, right? You get to decide. But maybe the delay effect isn't worth it. Maybe you have a lot going on, right? Things are great. You're on a real momentum in life. And those 2 or 3 days of you feeling hungover or regretting something that you did may set you back emotionally or physically, right? When I used to drink, I would be hungover for days. Days. And I was like, you know, for me, this is just not worth it. It takes too much of a toll on my body. This is why it's key that, you know, we use our intention and discernment, right? And we don't always make decisions off how we feel in the moment or by the influence around us. We don't want to be influenced by the ways of the world, but we want to renew our mind first and sprinkle our essence and influence on the world. Because our choices need to come from where? They need to come from our mind and from our heart. You know, sometimes the things that bring us peace are inner healing, right? Because we all want peace and inner healing. Nobody will say they don't. But often these things don't stimulate us fast enough, right? They're not the thing that's going to bring us instant pleasure, satisfaction. You know, think about like Mickey D fries, you understand? Or like a can of Coca-Cola. Why is it so good? The salt on the fries, the sealing, it's hot. I know you like it. You know, it does something to our tongue. Or the sugar in a can of Coke, it literally just tingles your whole mouth. Plus, it sends like a signal to the receptors in our brain. It gives us a sensation, instant pleasure. And then like, what about kale or spinach? Now, I love kale. I love spinach. But raw kale really doesn't excite the tongue, does it? Right? It doesn't have that much flavor. But it has a positive delay effect, you know, since it could be very nutritious for many. So choosing peace and inner healing is all about appreciating slow growth. It's about cultivating patience, right? Think about people who are good with saving their money. The individual that saves 10% of their check from their very first job at 15 years old all the way till 30 years old will most likely easily have over $100,000 saved. Now, 10% of your check, putting that into your savings, has no real immediate benefit in a dopamine rush or excitement, right? Especially if your check is small and you need most of it.
All right. Y'all got the peaceful woosah, namaste type feel with this brother here. And, you know, a part of healing is having that inner peace too. And so, what did y'all think about that, right? Did y'all resonate with what he was starting off saying? Now, you got to come back next time to hear the rest of what he has to say. But one thing he pointed out was that a lot of people want instantaneous responses, but a lot of our decisions have delayed reactions, and healing isn't instantaneous. Healing takes time, healing takes work, and so in order for us to heal ourselves, we have to be willing to put that work in, and we got to be patient enough and intentional enough to make it happen, and to also use discernment when it comes to certain decisions that we make, because a lot of times our decisions are what trips us up and what hurts us, because we don't put ourselves in something that we had no business putting ourselves in, and now we hurt because of something that we could have been avoided had we made a different decision. All right, but we're gonna stop it right there for the sake of time. All right, but I hope you all got something from this, but it's really imperative that we heal ourselves from within and stop trying to come off as if we've got it all together. Every person from the lowest to the highest has something they got going on and has something that they need to heal from. And the more you run from it, the more people can see, and the more work you have to do internally in order to get that right. All right, so just shifting gears a little bit, connect with us here at Intelexx. Go to Intelexx.com if you need any assistance with anything you have going on from your brand to your business. We are here to serve you and to promote your unique artistry, and we do that to the best of our ability. We do have free consultations. Go on our website to hop on and schedule a free consultation with us so that we can help meet your needs. All right, subscribe to our email list. It's free $99. Our YouTube channel is free $99. Shout out to the YouTubers watching right now. We have so much in store for you. All right, we do have member fees, and they are based on your wallet size. All right, we do not break any pockets here. We ball on budgets ourselves. All right, so we know we are not trying to break anyone's pockets, but we do have different member fees that are customized based on your specific need and what you can do. All right, so if you are a member, a VIP, very important artistic person, you can join our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub, and get all-inclusive access, all the perks, all the things that we don't show the free members. You get extra goodies. All right. But go to the Mighty Networks app in your app or Play Store. Create an account, download our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. We are right there. The intellectual community is waiting for you. All right, so definitely connect with us. But listen, we're going to get back to this. All right, so healing ourselves. How can we do that? I want you all to share your comments below. Share if anything resonated with you. Share how you heal yourself. All right, we're going to get into it a little bit later. You know, this was just the intro. This is part 1. We got a lot more in store for you for this series. So stay tuned, okay? And I just want to thank you for taking the time out to share this time with us, to hear what we got to say. And this is not just a lecture. This is a discussion, all right? We want to hear from you too. All right, so thank you so much again for tuning in. And until next time, I hope you have an amazing day and an awesome rest of your week. Make sure to do the work so that you can heal yourself. All right. See you next time. Intelexx here, and welcome to Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. If you want to be a part of the intellectual community, check us out. We have so much going on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and everywhere in between. And we even got our own app, okay? So make sure to check us out. Go to Intelexx.com, go to our link tree, look us up on social media at Intelexx APC so that we can best serve you. All right, we thank you so much for being a part of our vision. You know, we appreciate you, and we wouldn't be here without all of our amazing subscribers and supporters. Don't forget to sign up for the talent show every month, and someone always leaves with a prize. And don't forget to take advantage of all of our special offers, our events, our merch, our resources, our referrals, because we are here to serve you, okay? And thank you for the love. Until next time.